Good evening and a very warm welcome to the news on Sansad TV. I'm Isha Shah. Over the next 30 minutes, we'll go through the top national and international stories of the day. Let's start right away with the headlines. 16 bills slated for winter session of Parliament. New legislations relate to increasing accountability in cooperative societies and election reforms. Forest Protection Amendment Bill, Coastal Aquaculture Authority Amendment Bill also to be introduced. Campaigning peaks for second phase of Gujarat Assembly elections. Senior leaders of various parties, including Prime Minister Modi, hold rallies. Over 63% voting in the first phase. Campaigning ends for Delhi Municipal Corporation elections. Voting to be held for 250 votes on Sunday. Counting of votes on the 7th of December. Guidelines for incentive scheme related to drone production released. Companies involved in manufacturing of drones and spare parts in India to benefit. And Saurashtra wins the Vijay Hazare Trophy, beats Maharashtra by 5 wickets in FIFA World Cup. 4 matches on the last day of the group matches, round of 16 to start tomorrow. Let's take a look now at some more important news in our Flash News segment. President Murmu to be the chief guest at ceremony to celebrate the International Day of Persons with Disabilities in Delhi on Saturday. Earnings of Indian Railways increased by 76% in passenger segment during April to November this year. BJP appoints former Punjab Chief Minister Captain Amrinder Singh, former MP Sunil Zakhar and UP Minister Swatantra Dev Singh as National Executive members. Government revises scheme for intellectual property protection to upgrade professional charges of facilitators. Facilitation fees increased by at least 100%. Canada-based gangster Goldie Brar, mastermind behind the killing of Punjabi singer Sidhu Moosewala, detained in California, according to reports. Coal production increases over 17% to 524 million tons as compared to 447 million tons in the same period last year. India, speaking to both sides in the Russia-Ukraine conflict, says permanent representative at the United Nations, Ambassador Ruchira Kamboj. European Union to set $60 a barrel as price limit on oil coming from Russia. The move is aimed at undermining Russia's ability to raise funds for the Ukraine war. US and Japan impose sanctions on the director and deputy director of the Workers' Party of Korea and Central Committee member on North Korea's missile program. And US designates 4 members of Al-Qaeda and Pakistani Taliban groups as global terrorists. US will ensure that no terrorist sets foot in Afghanistan, says US Secretary of State Antony Blinken. Our top story. The government is all set to introduce 16 new bills in the upcoming winter session of Parliament. It will start on the 7th of December. Among them is the National Dental Commission Bill by repealing the Dentists Act 1948. Another bill slated for the upcoming session repeals the Indian Nursing Council Act 1947 and proposes the National Nursing Commission. The Multi-State Cooperative Societies Amendment Bill 2022 is aimed at strengthening governance in cooperatives, increase transparency and accountability, and improve the electoral process. The Cantonments Bill 2022 is another draft legislation that could be seen during the session. The bill proposes to enhance the ease of living in the cantonments. Other bills include the Old Grants Regulation Bill, Forest Conservation Amendment Bill, Coastal Aquaculture Authority Amendment Bill. The Northeast Water Management Authority Bill 2022 will be presented for discussion and passing. And now, let's head to Gujarat as it prepares for the next phase of elections. 63.14% polling was recorded in the first phase of the Gujarat Assembly elections. Elections were held for 89 seats in 19 districts of Saurashtra, Kutch and southern regions of the state. According to the Election Commission, tribal-dominated Narmada district recorded the highest voter turnout of 78.24%, followed by Tapi at 76.91%. Navsari had 71.06% polling. 10 districts saw over 60% polling, while 6 other districts had less than 60%. Surat saw 62.27% voting and Rajkot 60.45%. In the 2017 Assembly elections, 66.75% polling was recorded in these 89 constituencies. More than 800 candidates are in the fray for the second phase of elections on the 5th of December. Counting of votes will take place on the 8th of December. Campaigning for the second phase of the Gujarat Assembly elections will end at 5 p.m. on Saturday. Meanwhile, all political parties held rallies, public meetings and door-to-door campaigns on Friday. 833 candidates are in the fray for the three-cornered contest between the BJP, Congress and Aam Aadmi Party on Monday. Voting will be held on 93 seats in 14 districts of central and north Gujarat, including Banaskantha, Patan, Mehsana, Sabarkantha, Aravali, Gandhinagar, Ahmedabad, Anand, Kheda, Mahisagar, Panchmahal, Dahod, Vadodara and Chota Udaipur. 6 seats are reserved for scheduled castes and 13 seats for scheduled tribes. Over 2 crore voters will cast their votes. The Election Commission has set up over 26,000 polling stations for the voting. Prime Minister Modi on Friday addressed 4 election rallies in Gujarat. These rallies were held in Kakrej, Patan, Sochitra and Ahmedabad. He asserted that the BJP has become a symbol of trust. Addressing the party's Vijay Sankalp Sammelan, he expressed confidence for a landslide victory by his party. In Patan, the Prime Minister said that the public enthusiasm is proof that the BJP government will return to power with a huge majority. Targeting the Congress, the Prime Minister said that the party has made it a practice to insult BJP leaders at the time of elections and insult EVMs at the time of voting.
ગરીબની ચિંતા કરવી, સામાન્ય નાગરિકની ચિંતા કરવી, આ દિલ્હીમાં એવી સરકાર બેઠી છે જે સામાન્ય માનવી માટે કામ કરે છે. એના જીવનને આસાન બનાવવા માટે અનેકવિધ કદમ ઉઠાયા અને દીકરીઓને અવસર મળે એના માટે જેટલું થઈ શકે એટલું કર્યું.
Prime Minister Modi also visited and offered prayers at the Ogadnath temple in Kakrej. And coming back to Delhi now, where campaigning ended for the high-profile elections to the Municipal Corporation of Delhi on the 4th of December. The BJP has been in power in the MCD for the last 15 years and is eyeing a 4th term. This will be the first election of Municipal Corporation in Delhi after ward delimitation. BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party have fielded candidates in all 250 seats, while the Congress is contesting in 247 seats. Voting will be held on Sunday, while the votes will be counted on the 7th of December. Moving on now, the government on Friday approved an incentive scheme for the production of drones and drone equipment from 2022-23 to 2024-25. The Civil Aviation Ministry will be implementing the plan at a cost of 120 crore rupees. The scheme is aimed at promoting indigenous production of drones and drone equipment and making the industries involved globally competitive. The ministry said that companies will be provided assistance. According to the guidelines, companies in the MSME sector and the startup sector need to have an annual turnover of 2 crores for drones and 50 lakhs for equipment to avail the benefits of the production-linked incentive scheme. Union Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has said that defence shipyards are playing a vital role in strengthening India's Navy and Coast Guard. Addressing the Consultative Committee meeting on defence shipyards in Mumbai this afternoon, he said that defence shipyards are ensuring timely delivery of products topped with top-notch quality. He added that the platforms developed by India's defence shipyards have earned praise by many foreign nations in recent times. He said that building modern ships that are fully equipped with advanced weapon systems are the need of the hour. Let's listen in.
कि हमारी समुद्री सीमाओं की रक्षा के लिए एक सशक्त नेवी और कोस्ट गार्ड आज की ये बहुत बड़ी आवश्यकता है और नेवी और कोस्ट गार्ड की मजबूती ये तभी संभव है जब हम उन्हें अत्याधुनिक जहाज एवं हथियारों से पूरी तरह से लैस करते हैं और इस हिसाब में हमारे शिपयार्ड्स एक अपनी बहुत ही अहम भूमिका निभा रहे हैं.
And time now for some more news from across the nation. Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar visited the historic World War II memorial in Kohima. He paid tribute to the brave soldiers who made the supreme sacrifice in the line of duty. Dhankar is on his maiden visit to the northeastern state after assuming office this year. He left for Delhi after visiting the war memorial. The Vice President had inaugurated the 10-day-long 23rd Hornbill Festival on Thursday. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar and UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres will inaugurate a bust of Mahatma Gandhi at the United Nations on the 14th of December, marking the arrival of the Mahatma at UN's headquarters. This will take place during India's presidency of the powerful 15-nation Security Council for the month of December. The Supreme Court set aside anticipatory bail granted to 4 accused, including a former DGP, in a case of the alleged frame-up of scientist Nambi Narayanan in the 1994 ISRO espionage matter. The court has remanded the matter back to the Kerala High Court for fresh consideration and asked it to decide it as early as possible within 4 weeks. Indian markets snapped an 8-day winning streak on Friday as BSE Sensex closed at 62,868 points, down about 416 points, while the Nifty closed at 18,696 points with a decline of 116 points. Analysts said that such profit booking was expected after a continuous rally. A drone was found from a field near the India-Pakistan border in Punjab's Taran district, along with 5 kg of heroin. The hexacopter, an unmanned aerial vehicle with 6 rotors, was recovered in a joint operation by the Punjab Police and the BSF. On 28th of November, 2 Pakistani drones were gunned down by the BSF in Amritsar and Taran districts. In a significant development, India on Thursday assumed the presidency of the 15-nation UN Security Council for the month of December. During the month, it will host signature events on countering terrorism and reforming multilateralism. These will be addressed by External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar on the 14th and 15th of December. India's permanent representative to the United Nations, Ambassador Ruchira Kamboj, said that India is ready to take its place at the global top table as a country that is willing to bring solutions and contribute positively to the global agenda. She also referred to the COVID pandemic, saying that India had supplied medicines, medical equipment, as well as sent medical teams to countries in need and supplied 240 million doses of vaccines to over 100 countries. The UNSC presidency will bring the curtains down on India's 2-year tenure as elected non-permanent member of the powerful UN body. On the Russia-Ukraine conflict, Kamboj said that India is speaking to both sides while asserting that New Delhi's position has not been passive on the war. The President of the Security Council for December also said that India has taken the side of peace and favours de-escalation through diplomacy and dialogue. Kamboj asserted that New Delhi shares an important relationship with Moscow while responding to remarks by Russian Foreign Minister that NATO was trying to drag India into what he called an anti-Russian and anti-Chinese alliance. And time now for a very short break in the bulletin. Lots more coming up on the other side. Do stay tuned.
What can the new G20 Troika do for the developing world?
It has created a group that is not against any other group.
Yes.
It is a group that brings together.
We also still need to see whether the commitments can be also implemented. The current Troika would play a very important role.
Given that over the last 75 years, despite changes of government within the country, India has by and large championed the developing world's causes.
Welcome back. India observed the National Pollution Control Day on Friday. But national capital Delhi remained engulfed in a thick blanket of smog, making breathing a tedious affair for cyclists in the city. Let's take a look at this report.
India observes National Pollution Control Day annually on 2nd of December. That coincides with the date of Bhopal gas tragedy, when a gas leak from the Union Carbide pesticide plant killed at least 3,500 people in the central state of Madhya Pradesh.
The pollution is devastating in Delhi right now. It used to take me around 15 to 20 minutes to reach India Gate from my location, but now it's taking about more than 40-45 minutes. So as we see, it is quite irritating and it's causing me heavy breathing.
The air quality index remained in the very poor category. Authorities asked New Delhi residents to not step out for outdoor activities during the wee hours of the day when the Union Territory experiences the most smog. The government has announced that from 1st of January, no new diesel-powered rickshaws will be registered in the areas surrounding Delhi in the states of Haryana, Uttar Pradesh and Rajasthan. From 2027, only auto rickshaws with compressed natural gas or electricity will be allowed to operate in the region. The Commission for Air Quality Management in National Capital Region and adjoining areas said, Delhi faces air pollution in winter due to vehicular pollution, construction dust and burning of crop stubble in neighbouring states. Bureau Report, Sansad TV.
And time now for news from across the globe. Air pollution remains a vexing issue not just in India, but far away in Bosnia as well. In Sarajevo, a student is using drones to tackle the problem in his city. Although his effort is small at present, it has the potential to leave a big impact by reducing the smog in the Bosnian capital. Let's find out more about this initiative.
Frustrated by years of inaction to solve the smog problem in his hometown, a Bosnian student decided to look for a relatively inexpensive way to make the air of Sarajevo more breathable. Damir Hanik is a 22-year-old mechanical engineering student and a drone pilot. With 3D printed yellow containers, he spread silver iodide to seed the clouds above the city. Silver iodide exists naturally in the environment at low concentrations and is not known to be harmful to humans or wildlife. When infused into clouds, it causes ice crystals to form and water to condense into rain or snow. Hanik feels once the rain or snow with their load of dangerous particulate matter hit the ground, just washing the streets should be suffice to reduce the smog. At the present scale, Hanik's drone is unlikely to have a big impact. Situated in a deep valley and surrounded by high mountains, Sarajevo has historically suffered from high concentrations of fog, smog and dust. The situation further deteriorated over the past decade due to the proliferation of tall buildings that block airflow, the use of old and highly polluting vehicles and the increased use of coal for heating in the city. According to the UN Environment Programme, Sarajevo residents are exposed to some of the highest concentrations of air pollution in Europe, which has reduced life expectancy up to 1.3 years. Bureau Report, Sansad TV.
Now, firearm deaths surged in the US during the COVID-19 pandemic, killing a record number of people in 2021. A new study in the US has also pointed out that America's gun epidemic is not only getting worse, but also affects various sections of the population. Let's find out more.
Over 11,10,000 Americans have died due to gun violence since 1990. This was the finding of a study carried out by medical journal JAMA Network that also highlighted the disparities among the victims. About 25.8% of the victims are black non-Hispanic individuals. The year 2021 alone saw nearly 58,000 firearm-related deaths, the highest recorded since the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention began tracking injury fatalities in 1981. Despite all the deaths, the sale of guns has been going up steadily. According to the Firearm Industry Trade Association, the FBI recorded 192,749 background checks on gun buyers on Black Friday alone. This figure is 2.8% higher compared to Black Friday sales last year. According to the Switzerland-based Small Arms Survey, gun possession is high in the US, with about 120.5 guns for every 100 Americans. Bureau Report, Sansad TV.
And moving on to Paris now, where yellow flowers, ladybugs and honeybee-shaped light structures are leaving visitors spellbound at the Festival of Lights. Usually, the festival has different themes related to endangered species around the world. This year's exhibition was dedicated to the little creatures that exist in the world. Let's find out more.
Giant spiders, centipedes, and even bedbugs greet visitors at a Paris garden, with biodiversity as the theme during this winter season. France's National Museum of Natural History took advantage of the shorter days, illuminating organisms that are usually tiny into giant replicas to highlight how essential they are to our ecosystem. Designed in conjunction with scientists from Museum of Natural History, the sculptures are original creations lit with low-consumption LED bulbs. They are produced by China Light Festival, a Chinese company from Sichuan that uses the know-how of traditional lanterns to design light paths and immersive experiences according to organizers. They also added that to save energy, they are switching off illuminations an hour early from 10:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. The light show will continue until 15th of January 2024. Bureau Report, Sansad TV.
And time for some more global updates in our World Wrap segment. Russian shelling cut off power in the recently liberated Ukrainian city of Kherson just days after it was restored, causing locals to flee the area for safety. Ukraine's presidential office said on Thursday that at least 2 civilians were killed and 6 others injured nationwide by the latest Russian shelling. China's top COVID official and multiple cities have signaled a possible relaxing of the country's strict zero-tolerance approach to the virus after nationwide protests calling for an end to lockdowns and greater political freedom. Anger over China's zero-COVID policy, which involves mass lockdowns, constant testing and quarantine even for people who are not infected, has sparked protests in major cities, including Beijing and Shanghai. Cyril Ramaphosa's future as South African president hung in the balance on Friday, as his office said that he was exploring options after a report found evidence that he may have committed misconduct over a stash of cash stolen from his game farm. The president has been accused of covering up $4 million theft from his farm in 2020, including kidnapping and bribing the burglars into silence. Hundreds of angry Bulgarians took to the streets to protest against a hasty revision of the election code that reinstates paper ballots. These were replaced by voting machines by the previous reformist government. The protest in the capital city of Sofia was called by the We Continue the Change party and the Democratic Bulgaria coalition, who considered the switch as an attempt by the parties of the old establishment to allow corrupt practices in the electoral process. And Spain has stepped up security to confront a spate of explosive devices sent to high-profile targets, including the Prime Minister and the Ukrainian ambassador in Madrid. Spanish authorities said that early indications suggest that all 5 of letter bombs were sent from within the country. And time now for a quick look at the most interesting developments in the world of sports. Australia lead West Indies by 344 runs on day 3. Australia choose not to enforce West Indies to follow on after dismissing the Caribbeans for 283 in reply to their first innings score of 598 for 4 declared. After the record-breaking opening day, England were all out for 657 on the second day of the Rawalpindi Test. Harry Brook top-scored with 153. Pakistan were 181 for no loss by the end of day 2. In FIFA World Cup, Germany suffer a second straight group stage exit as Japan stuns Spain 2-1, a result which sends both teams through to the last 16. Morocco top Group F and qualify for the last 16 along with 2018 runners-up Croatia. In the last matches of the group, Croatia-Belgium play out a goalless draw while Morocco beat Canada 2-1. The one remaining qualifier from Group H of the FIFA World Cup is being decided as we speak. Portugal, who have already qualified, are taking on South Korea, while Ghana is playing Uruguay. And group stage matches will end later tonight with last matches of Group G. Brazil have qualified from the group. Serbia are to play Switzerland, while Brazil will take on Cameroon. And with that, it's a wrap of the edition this evening. Do stay tuned to Sansad TV for more news and updates round the clock. Thank you for being here. See you tomorrow. Good night.